Kevin Neely, and I work at Juniper Networks, and I'm KT Neely on Twitter, KTNEELY.
And you also have a website?
I do. I blog occasionally on various things in tech that I find interesting. Rubbernecking.info. It's basically rubbernecking, what turns my head, what makes me interested.
Now, you're a bit of a Nokia connoisseur, right?
I have used Nokia phones for quite a while, yes. I have a couple of different ones. My main phone is an N82 that I love mostly because I got originally because of the camera and the flash that accompanies the camera. I have a little bit of red face today. I just rolled into the Nokia event today, and I was out hiking on Mission Peak down in Fremont, which is about an hour south of here on the East Bay, and went out with some friends, and then we barbecued and whatnot. And so, yes, and I used my N82 and I sports tracked it, and it tells me that I went from something like 100-foot elevation to 2450 elevation. So it was quite a climb, yeah.
You are the archetypical, Nokia top-level geek, right?
I probably am, yes. And this is actually what you probably hit on is exactly why I use Nokia phones still. I'm not anti anybody. I get that a lot, mostly because I'll just point out downfalls from other devices. There's a lot of things that I want to do for my device. I'm hard on them. I'm hard on my laptops as well. They don't like me. They get hot, basically. And so my top application, Sports Tracker, was a recent one. When I'm doing Sports Tracker or when I'm riding the train to work, I'm got Mobler running back in the background. I really like all my stuff to go to Last.fm as kind of as a history of what I've done. I like to be able to have all the stuff recorded, sometimes private, sometimes public, but that's so I can link to it later. I like all that stuff to go somewhere, and I think that so far Nokia devices have really got a lot of that under their belts. I mean, either through them or through a lot of third-party apps, honestly. The most open device is what I'm looking for. So I'm watching Android, I'm watching iPhone. I think Android is a big player. They're not there yet, but they're maturing rapidly, and that's a big deal.
And for the developers that are watching this, you're a big consumer of applications, and I suspect that you're someone who doesn't mind paying for applications, is that right?
That's true. I will pay for something that's good, that I like. The most recent application that I bought was Gravity. It's a fantastic application. I'm a little bit more of a power user than most people, so that my problem that I run into is I move from multiple devices, and so I don't have Gravity available everywhere. It's best on touch, so it's sitting on my 5800, and I'm running Tweet S60 for Twitter on the other phones, most prominently my E75. It's a very solid free application. That one's nice too. But I like them. Also, subscription. Like, let's go back to Last.fm. Subscription apps are fine. I'm a little annoyed because I, for some reason, hit a edge or worse black zone on the way to work on the train, which is almost unheard of in Silicon Valley, and it really annoys me that I'm in Silicon Valley and I hit an edge less black zone. But yes, definitely. And also, what I'm looking for is applications that go with web. I guess we call them Web 2.0 services. I might give two that are not on Nokia, and it kind of annoys me. I'm a big Yelper. I do Yelp.com. I write reviews and stuff, and they are on the iPhone and only on the iPhone. However, everybody that I know that has an iPhone that runs the Yelp.com app uses the web interface instead. They don't use it, which is odd. I haven't had a chance to play with it, so I can't comment. I just know what I've seen. The big one that I love is Evernote, and they're on BlackBerry and the iPhone, of course. And I have really lately gotten into that application. I think it's really cool. I've started just really digitizing all my older documents. I just digitized everything that I did as a lawyer in Florida, because I don't need it really handy anymore. So got rid of it and shredded it. So, but for simple notes, I do a lot of to-do notes, and that stuff I can do on the web interface, on the web client, and that works for me.
Can you talk to me about the so Gravity's €9, $9, something like that?
It was $9. It was $10, $9.99 or something. Yeah. It was.
What's your view on that price? Because I think developers will be interested to know that obviously Symbian does require a little bit more effort, but do they get the reward? Right.
I think probably that price on apps in general. I mean, this is tough, right? Because I can't just say, hey, app developers, you should charge X, because it's going to big time depend on your app and what people are going to use it for. Let's look at Gravity. Gravity does Twitter, basically. It does Identica, and another thing that it does is that the developer is very big on adding additional features. Without charging, he has added, I think, some TwitPic integration, a bunch of picture integration. He's added a lot of things from community involvement. So I think, and plus, it's about the most beautiful thing I've seen on S60, especially touch. Definitely on my touch screen. I played with it only as beta on my N82, and it was nice. It was very good. But on the 5800 with the kinetic scrolling is great. So he's put a lot of work into it, and I think he deserves it. Now, as a price point, I think $10 is a little high. But it just depends on the app. Honestly, I would pay for the aforesaid Evernote app, even though it's basically free for the other applications. But it would have to be low, right? Because it's free for other platforms, and I might be paying a subscription to Evernote. So I might pay $1 or $2.99 for a really good, really well implemented version. Because I believe that they just released their API. So if some third party releases it, I would do that.
Do you think that an active development environment, or a developer that is constantly innovating, do you think that's good news?
Definitely. I mean that just shows that there's going to be improvements, and I think for the most part so far we've seen active development, meaning free upgrades. I don't necessarily need that. I think that there should be maybe free upgrades to a point. I mean, I'm not trying to encourage everybody to version freeze their stuff and go up, but I could definitely see there being a point at which, especially because I'm very big into applications that integrate with web services. So if the web service itself makes a giant upgrade, then I could see how the application itself would need to make a similar upgrade, and that might need to be an incremental cost. Now, I definitely think that current subscribers should have some sort of discount or some sort of upgrade path that's a little bit less than a new user.
It's so interesting, you as a power user, I think for developers watching this, Gravity, let's just assume he's got some really new things out. What kind of price point would work for you?
So I think that the developer of Gravity actually was, I don't know if this has gone anywhere, but I remember him talking about some sort of Facebook integration. And honestly, I was kind of looking at that and thinking what he ought to do, honestly, is he ought to release a completely separate application that is a Facebook application. Janol, I'm talking to you, right? And you should release it that way. But you should also, I think, and maybe this is going a little crazy, but if you have current, this is almost like the upgrade path. You have current subscribers that are purchasers of Gravity, maybe they should get a break, right? Maybe if everything's $10, just going on base point, not that that's a recommendation. If Gravity's $10, Facebook is $10, maybe as a Gravity user, I should be able to get Facebook for $5. Yes, I think most of the ones we've touched on, Twitter, Evernote, Yelp, they're all Web 2.0 apps, and so they're applications that are available on my desktop that I want on my mobile. That's the key, really. And so I think that either developers or the website owners really need to start stepping up, and really there needs to be some sort of interaction, really collaboration is the right word, between these guys. And it could be different people, right? If they've got a great iPhone developer and they've got a great S60 developer, then maybe Yelp.com needs to work with both and not just point on one. Because they're now in the UK, it's not only iPhones in Silicon Valley, you know.
Kevin, thank you very much. Just once again, how do people find you?
All right, I'm Kevin Neely. I'm at rubbernecking.info, and I'm KT Neely, KTNEELY at Twitter.
Thank you very much.
Thanks. Thank you.